Welcome back to the podcast, everyone. Today we're diving into a topic that touches almost everyone at some point. Personal loans. You know, for that new car, home renovations, maybe even consolidating debt. But instead of just looking at banks, we're exploring a path that many people overlook, using an asset finance broker. And with me today are Craig, Tom and Sue. Craig, let's start with you. When people think personal loan, they usually think of their bank, right?
Absolutely, Alana. That's the default for most people. They walk into their local branch or go online to their existing bank and just assume that's their best or only option. It's a natural inclination, a comfort thing, I guess. But what they don't realise is that by doing so, they're often limiting their choices significantly from the outset.
Yeah, I've been there. My first personal loan, years ago. I just went with the bank I already had my checking account with. Didn't even shop around. I mean, it seemed easy enough at the time, but looking back, I often wonder if I got the best deal or if there were other options that would have suited me better.
And that's the thing, isn't it? It's not just about the interest rate. It's about terms, fees, repayment flexibility. There's so much more to a loan than just that headline number. But for someone like me, who's not in finance, trying to navigate all that jargon and compare different products from different lenders, it's just overwhelming, honestly.
Exactly, Sue. And that's where an asset finance broker really shines, particularly for personal loans. We're talking about firms like Find That Finances that specialize in this. Craig, can you break down for us how a broker immediately offers more flexibility in terms of lender products compared to going directly to a single bank?
Of course. Imagine a bank as a single shop. They only sell their own brand of products. A broker, on the other hand, is like a massive shopping mall with dozens, sometimes hundreds of different stores, all offering different types of personal loans. We work with a vast panel of lenders, from the big banks to smaller credit unions, non-bank lenders and specialist finance providers. This means we're not tied to any one product. Our primary goal is to match you with the best loan for your specific situation, not just the best loan from one particular institution.
So you're saying if I go to my bank, they'll only show me their personal loan options, even if another lender has something way better for me?
Precisely. And that way better could mean a lower interest rate, more flexible repayment terms, no early exit fees, or even options for those with a less than perfect credit history. Banks have strict lending criteria, and if you don't fit neatly into their box, you're often just rejected. A broker knows which lenders are more flexible for different scenarios.
That makes a lot of sense. So it's not just about more options, but better fitting options. What about the service aspect? I hear about personalized services a lot, but what does that actually mean in the context of a personal loan broker?
Great question, Alana. Personalised can sometimes feel like a buzzword. Tom, how does a broker like Find That Finance genuinely deliver personalised service for personal loans?
To what we do. When you walk into a bank, you're often just another number, following a predefined process. With a broker, it starts with a deep dive into your individual circumstances. We sit down, or have a detailed conversation, to understand why you need the loan, what your financial goals are, your current income, expenses, credit history, and even your future plans. This isn't just about ticking boxes. It's about understanding your entire financial picture.
So it's less like an interrogation and more like a consultation?
Exactly, Sue. We're trying to be your financial advocate. Because we understand your unique needs, we can then filter through those dozens of lenders and products to pinpoint the handful that genuinely align with what you're trying to achieve, rather than just offering you a generic one-size-fits-all solution.
That sounds incredibly helpful, especially if you have a slightly complicated financial history or if your income isn't perfectly salaried, like if you're a freelancer, for instance. I imagine banks might be less flexible with that.
You've hit the nail on the head, Craig. Self-employed individuals, people with variable income, even those who've had a minor credit hiccup in the past, they often face an uphill battle with traditional banks. A broker knows which lenders are more amenable to these situations and how to best present your application to increase your chances of approval. It's about finding the right fit, not just meeting a rigid set of criteria.
That personal touch really sounds like it can reduce a lot of stress. Now let's talk about something that offers real peace of mind. Pre-approvals. How does getting a pre-approval through a broker work, and what are the main benefits for someone seeking a personal loan?
Pre-approvals are a game changer. especially for personal loans tied to a specific purchase like a car. With a broker, we can often get you a pre-approval. This means a lender has provisionally agreed to lend you a certain amount based on your financial information before you've even finalized what you're buying or exactly how much you need.
So you go shopping for a car already knowing what you can afford? That's huge. No more falling in love with a car only to find out you can't get the finance for it.
Precisely, Tom. Precisely, Craig. It puts you in a much stronger negotiating position. When you talk to a builder or an architect with a pre-approval, you are seen as a serious buyer with funds ready to go. It eliminates the uncertainty and potential disappointment. For things like debt consolidation, it gives you a clear picture of what you can borrow to pay off those higher interest debts, allowing you to plan your finances effectively.
Must save a lot of time too, right? Instead of applying at multiple places and getting rejected, you've got a much clearer path.
Massive time savings, Sue, and crucially, it protects your credit score. Every time you apply for a loan, it can leave an inquiry on your credit report. Too many inquiries in a short period can negatively impact your score. With a broker, we do the initial legwork, often with soft inquiries that don't harm your score, and only submit a formal application to the lender most likely to approve you.
That's a point many people might not even consider, the impact on their credit score, which leads us perfectly into another key benefit, the free loan eligibility assessment. Tom, tell us more about how this works and why it's such a valuable service.
The free loan eligibility assessment is essentially our first step with any client. Before we even think about submitting an application anywhere, we assess your financial position against the criteria of various lenders on our panel. We look at your income, your expenses, your existing debts, your credit history, everything relevant. We don't charge for this initial assessment because it's crucial for us to understand your viability for a loan and to identify the best potential lenders for you.
So it's like a pre-approval? You get a good idea of whether you're even likely to get a loan before you even apply?
Exactly, Tom. It is about de-risking the entire process for you. We can tell you, with a high degree of confidence, whether you are likely to be approved, what amount you might be eligible for, and which lenders are the most suitable. If there are any red flags, we can identify them early and sometimes even offer ideas on how to address them before applying, making your application stronger.
That's fantastic. So no more blindly applying and getting hit with a rejection, which, let's be honest, feels pretty rubbish and doesn't do your confidence any good, let alone your credit score.
Precisely. It builds confidence and saves you from potential credit report dings. It also ensures you're applying to lenders whose criteria you genuinely meet, maximizing your chances of success from the first formal application.
That sounds incredibly practical. And behind all of these benefits, there is the human element. Experienced brokers. Alana, talk about the value of having an experienced broker guiding you through what can often feel like a very complex financial decision.
The experience of a broker is invaluable. It's not just about knowing the products, it's about understanding the nuances of the lending market. We've seen countless scenarios, dealt with all sorts of financial situations, and built relationships with BDMs at various lenders. We know what each lender looks for, what their sweet spot is, and how to present an application in the best possible light. This insider knowledge is something a layperson simply wouldn't have access to.
So they're not just order takers, they're strategists.
Exactly, Craig. We guide you through the entire process, from that initial assessment right through to settlement. We handle the paperwork, communicate with the lenders, and advocate on your behalf. If issues arise, we know how to troubleshoot them. It's like having a professional navigator for a complex journey, ensuring you reach your destination smoothly and efficiently.
I can see how that would be a huge relief. The thought of filling out all those forms correctly, understanding the fine print, and then chasing up the bank, it's just a headache I'd rather avoid.
And that's precisely what we aim to eliminate. We simplify the process, translate the jargon, and make sure you understand every step. Our job is to make obtaining a personal loan as stress-free and beneficial for you as possible.
It sounds like a broker truly acts as a trusted advisor, not just a transaction facilitator. Let's dig a bit deeper into some real-world examples. Tom, you mentioned your first loan. Let's say you're looking for a personal loan now for, say, a significant home renovation, maybe $30,000 or $40,000. How would using a broker like Find That Finances change your approach compared to what you did before?
Well, immediately I wouldn't just go to my bank, I'd reach out to a broker. I'd explain what the renovation is, what my budget is, what my income looks like now, which is much more stable than it was when I was younger. I'd want to know what my options are for different repayment schedules, because with renovations, things can sometimes get delayed, and I might need some flexibility. I'd also be curious about fees, establishment fees, ongoing fees, early repayment fees. I definitely didn't consider any of that properly last time.
And that's where the personalized service and expertise come into play. We'd listen to all of that, Tom. We'd then look across our panel of lenders. Some lenders might offer slightly lower rates but have less flexible terms. Others might have slightly higher rates but allow for early repayments without penalty, which could be ideal if your renovation budget tightens or you get a bonus. We'd compare the total cost of the loan, not just the advertised interest rate, taking into account all fees. And importantly, we'd ensure the repayment structure aligns with your projected income and expenses during the renovation period.
What about someone who's looking to consolidate debt? I know a lot of people who have credit card debt and personal loans spread across different institutions, all with different rates and terms. It's a bit of a financial jungle out there for them, isn't it?
Debt consolidation is a prime example of where a broker can add immense value. It's not just about getting a lower interest rate on a single loan. It's about simplifying finances, reducing multiple repayments to one, and often significantly lowering the overall monthly outflow. We'd delve into all their existing debts, credit cards, smaller personal loans, store cards, understand the interest rates, the remaining balances, and then look for a consolidation loan that offers a clear financial benefit. Sometimes people are paying 18 to 20% on credit cards. A personal loan at 7 to 10% can make a world of difference to their cash flow and overall financial health.
I can only imagine the stress relief that would bring. One payment, lower interest, and actually seeing a path to getting out of debt.
Exactly. And we don't just find the loan, we help structure it so it genuinely improves their financial position, not just kicks the can down the road. We look at the why behind the debt and if the consolidation loan truly makes sense for their long-term goals.
It sounds like a holistic approach, which is crucial for something as important as financial well-being. Sue, you brought up the challenge of navigating different lenders. What about the peace of mind that comes from knowing someone else is doing all that legwork for you?
Oh, that's huge. Like I said, the jargon, the comparison shopping, the application forms, it's all so time-consuming and frankly a bit intimidating. Knowing that an expert is handling all of that and proactively looking out for my best interests means I can focus on my actual life, not spend hours and hours on the phone or online trying to figure out if I'm making the right decision. It's like having a personal assistant for your finances.
And that's exactly the service we provide. We remove the burden from your shoulders. We present the options clearly, explain the pros and cons of each, and guide you to an informed decision. Our goal isn't just to get you a loan, but to get you the right loan, with as little hassle as possible.
It also makes me think about those times when you get declined by a bank and they don't really tell you why or what you could do differently. It's just a no. A broker would be able to give you actual feedback, right?
Spot on, Tom. If for some reason an application is not approved, or even if during the initial eligibility assessment we identify potential hurdles, we are not just going to say no. We will explain why, and more importantly, we will discuss what steps you can take to improve your financial position for future applications. Whether it is clearing a small debt, improving your credit score, or saving a bit more, we provide actionable information. That guidance is a crucial part of the service, particularly for those who might be facing financial challenges.
So it's not just about getting the loan, but also about financial education and empowerment. That's a really important distinction. Tom, for listeners who might be on the fence, perhaps thinking about a personal loan for an upcoming purchase or project, what's the one key message you'd want them to take away about using an asset finance broker?
It is this. Do not limit your options by going to just one bank. By engaging an experienced asset finance broker, like Find That Finance, you are not just getting a loan. You are gaining an expert partner who will navigate the entire market for you, provide personalized service, secure pre-approvals, assess your eligibility for free, and ultimately find you the most suitable loan from a wide range of lenders. It saves you time, stress, and potentially a lot of money in the long run. It is about making an informed decision that truly benefits your financial future.
And for me, it's really about that peace of mind, knowing that someone's got your back and that they're working to get you the best possible deal, without me having to become a finance expert overnight. That's invaluable.
Yeah, I'd definitely use a broker next time, no question. The thought of all those different products and knowing someone can sift through them for me, that's a huge win.
It sounds like the consensus is clear. When it comes to personal loans, an asset finance broker offers a wealth of benefits that can truly streamline the process and lead to a much better outcome. From more choice and personalised guidance to pre-approvals and expert advice, it's definitely a path worth exploring for anyone needing financial assistance. Thank you, Craig, Tom and Sue, for shedding so much light on this important topic. And thank you to our listeners for tuning in. We'll catch you next time.